The child, the son, the shoulders. A closer look at Isaiah 9 verse 6. For to us a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government will be on his shoulders. And he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. Isaiah 9 verse 6. This verse sits at the heart of many Christmas readings, and for good reason. It's poetic, prophetic, and packed with deep theological meaning. But quoting it often isn't the same as understanding it. What exactly does it mean for the government to rest on someone's shoulders? Why this string of lofty titles? And how does this ancient prophecy speak into our very human world? Let's slow down and pay closer attention. A promise in the dark. Isaiah wasn't writing this in a peaceful, hopeful moment. He was writing in a time of political chaos and national fear. The northern kingdom of Israel was falling apart. Assyria loomed like a storm cloud, and leaders in Jerusalem were scrambling to make alliances that would help them survive. People were afraid, uncertain, tired of war, and unsure if God had forgotten them. In the middle of that, Isaiah brings this odd announcement. A child is going to be born, not a warrior, not a king riding a horse, a child. It may sound almost irrelevant in the face of a crisis, and maybe that's part of the point. The weight of leadership. When Isaiah says the government will be on his shoulders, he's using an image his readers would recognize. In those days, rulers wore robes with decorative shoulder pieces or key-like symbols of authority, marking the weight they carried for the people. But Isaiah flips the script. This ruler won't just hold political power. He will carry it with the strength and dignity that only someone truly appointed by God can. But here's where the tension shows up. If we take this as a prophecy about Jesus, as most Christians do, it gets complicated. Because Jesus didn't overthrow any governments, he didn't lead a kingdom like David or Solomon, he wasn't crowned emperor or president. Instead, he was executed by the very empire people hoped he'd defeat. So, how do we hold that together? Some say Jesus redefined power. That his kingdom, though not of this world, John 18 verse 36, is still deeply real. A kingdom built on justice, mercy, and self-giving love. That may be true, but it also doesn't erase the longing many people still feel for real-world peace and justice. Saying he rules in hearts might feel comforting, or it might feel like a dodge, depending on who you ask, for names that tell a story. Then come the titles: Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. Not everyday names, clearly. Each one is loaded. Wonderful Counselor suggests someone whose wisdom doesn't just impress, it changes things. Not just smart, but insightful in a way that heals. That said, some days it doesn't feel like this wisdom is at work in the chaos around us. That's an honest tension. Mighty God is bolder. Here, Isaiah seems to assign divinity to this child. That was shocking then, and still hard to grasp now. Some scholars have even debated whether this title was meant literally at the time Isaiah wrote it, or if it later gained more weight as followers of Jesus looked back and connected the dots. Everlasting Father throws many people. Isn't Jesus the Son, not the Father? This may not be a statement about the Trinity as much as it is about care. In ancient times, a good ruler was like a father, strong, stable, protective. It's likely Isaiah meant that kind of father, not a doctrinal statement. Prince of Peace feels the most accessible. We all want peace. We just don't all agree on how to get it. Jesus' kind of peace wasn't about avoiding conflict. It often came through confrontation, with injustice, with religious pride, with fear. His peace wasn't soft. It was costly, a verse that still waits. Isaiah 9 verse 6 sits in a strange place. It's a promise spoken in the past tense. A child is born about something that hadn't happened yet. That may be Isaiah's way of showing confidence, like the future is so sure, you can speak of it as already done. And yet, even now, the full weight of this verse hasn't landed. Wars rage, corrupt governments stand. The world aches for peace. It's easy to say Jesus fulfilled this prophecy. It's harder to explain why so much still feels unfinished. Maybe that's where we live, in the tension between promise and fulfillment, hope and heartbreak. Maybe Isaiah meant for us to sit with that. One final thought. Isaiah 9 verse 6 isn't just a Christmas card verse. It's a claim about who Jesus is and who he will be. But it's also an invitation to wrestle with what kind of leader we actually want, and whether we're ready for the kind of kingdom he offers. The child was born, the son was given, but the shoulders still carry a weight the world can't always see. And maybe that's okay. Or maybe that's exactly why we still long for peace.